For more on this nationwide security incident, we're joined this afternoon by Ahmed Banafa, cybersecurity expert and engineering professor at San Jose State. Always a pleasure to see you, Professor. So Canvas is used right there on your campus. For people who are at home who aren't familiar with it, how central is this platform to schools and universities today?
Good talking to you, Heather. It's very important. They call them the learning management system. Basically, it is between you and between the students. I can have announcement, I can have email, I can upload documents, I have grades of the students, I can send them messages. So basically, it is a very centralized piece for the communication between the instructor, professors, and the students. And we are talking about 9,000 universities and colleges and high schools in the world, about 275 million students using it. So it's really a very heavily used centralized system in the education, in the world.
This happening during finals week, so obviously the timing is especially disruptive for students and you educators. What do we know so far about how hackers were able to get into this system?
It's very interesting. I was reading some of the information about this incident. There is a special version of Canvas, something called Free for Teacher, which is basically given to freelance educator or teachers, individual teachers or small school. They don't have an IT department, so they can configure it and have multi-factor authentication and monitor it. And that one is like a free access to the big system, of Canvas. They instruct the parents of Canvas. They say the incident started from one of those accounts because it's not protected as before. And once they get into the small system, the free system, the back door, they get to the big system. And now they have thousands of colleges and universities under their hands.
Do you think, does that explanation sort of jive with what you're thinking as an expert here?
Yes, because the weakest link in any system is the human. So it's most likely a phishing email, use of a password that being sold online, and there is no protection. There is no two-factor authentication. If I want to access my Canvas, I have to go through my phone. I have to enter a number before I can get into Canvas, the school. And the same thing with the student. When you have the Free for Teacher, it's free. So it is a way of the company trying to help the individual instructors, but at the same time, it's a weak point. They shut it down temporarily for now.
Yeah. Okay. So Instructure is kind of disputing the scope of the information that was stolen, claiming that there is no evidence that financial information, government IDs, et cetera, were compromised. But still, Professor, we're talking about students' names, emails, ID numbers, even messages that you were talking about amongst you and some of your students were exposed. What are the risks, does that create beyond simple inconvenience?
It's the immediate phishing campaigns right after an incident like this. And I received a message today from one of the account telling me that I want to show you how to create quizzes on Canvas. I've been doing it for almost 12 years. So it shows you that they already started with this. That's why it's very important that do not click on a link, do not answer an email, and sometimes they ask for money so they can gain access to your account on Canvas. It is very risky because they have the information, they have the names, they have the emails, and they can create a lot of trouble. Now there is the factor of AI here, because AI now can create all these emails and filter, the accounts, and based on that, they're gonna go and send it to people they think that they will be more receptive to answering those emails.
All right, so the warning is don't answer the emails. All right, Ahmed Banafa, really appreciate it as always, Professor. Thanks so much and have a good weekend.
Thank you.